I come by here to tell you that this world we're living in, it's bowing ground. This world that we're living in is the plain called Dura. For if you take a casual glimpse with me of this world in which we're living in, you will instantaneously discover that we, the church, are standing on bowing ground. My brothers and sisters, come with me if you will. Education is down, and the dropout rate is up. I tell you, we're standing on bowing ground. The liquor store wages are up, and the bookstore wages are down. Now, I tell you today, we're standing on bowing ground. Heterosexual relationships, I'm talking about a relationship between a man and a woman, have played out, and homosexuality and lesbianism has become this world's prevalence. I tell you, we're standing today on bowing ground. The black family today is down, and the divorce rate is up. I tell you today, we're standing on bowing ground. We live in a world where we no longer love one another, but rather we hate one another. I'm just trying to press my point today that we, the church, are standing on bowing ground. But in the text today, we find that there are three individuals that we know as the three Hebrew boys. You know them, don't you? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Three boys standing on this plain decided that they wouldn't bow down to Nebuchadnezzar's golden image. I tell you, brothers and sisters, there were three boys that decided, for God I'll live, and for God I'll die. I tell you, my brothers and sisters, it was three boys who decided that they wouldn't do what everybody else was doing. I tell you, they were standing on bowing ground. For my brothers and sisters, I would, if you would come with me, come join me in the theater of my mind. I would, if you would come, let's take a quantum leap out of the geometrical confinements of these four walls, and let's head down to Babylon. Come with me, let's jump down in the time capsule, and let's go back to the days when Nebuchadnezzar was king. Can't you see these three boys standing erect in the midst of all of these bowing individuals? Can't you see the Chaldeans, the Babylonians telling them, you better bow down, you don't know who you messing with. Nebuchadnezzar's going to cast you in the fiery furnace. Oh, but look at them. Can't you see them standing, refusing to bow down to the golden image? Can't you see them encouraging one another? I'm not worried about Nebuchadnezzar. Shadrach, don't be worried. Fret not yourself over evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they soon shall be cut down as the grass. Can't you see him telling Nebuchadnezzar, no, I ain't going to bow down because the Lord is my shepherd. And because he is my shepherd, I shall not want. And you know what, Nebuchadnezzar, I got news for you. He prepares a table for folk like you. And you might not be able to see it, but there's a rod and a staff. They comfort me, and if you don't mind me skipping down to the end of the verse, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I come by here to tell you that they were standing on bowing ground. For brothers and sisters, I need to tell you that verse 12 said that there are certain Jews that refuse to bow down to this golden image. Certain Jews who refuse to do what everybody else is doing. I come by here to tell you on this first day of the new year that the Lord is looking for some three Hebrew boys. I need to tell you today, brothers and sisters, you need to learn how to dare to be different. I need to tell you, the three Hebrew boys say, look here, we don't care what the consequence. We refuse to do what everybody else is doing. I need to tell you, it's too many of the same folk walking around. It's too many of the same folk doing the same thing. It's too many folk talking the same way, cussing folk out the same way, talking the same slang, lying the same way, about the same things. There's too many of the same folk dressing the same way. Can I get a witness? Looking the same way. And I'm finna make somebody mad in a minute. It's too many of the same folk going to the same liquor stores, buying the same Budweiser, buying the same 8-Ball, buying the same Heineken, buying the same Cognac, Tanqueray, Alizé, Cavazier, Hennessy. It's too many of the same folk. Daniel said, dare to be different. Oh, I wish I had one here. No. It's too many of the same folk going down to the same corner, picking up the same marijuana bag, and going down to the same gas station to buy the same blunt cigar, and taking the same raisin, and cutting the same blunt cigar, and pushing out the same tobacco, and taking the same marijuana, putting it in the same blunt, and rolling it the same way, and licking it the same way, and sealing it the same way, and then taking it and lighting it the same way, and the same way. Dare to be different. Yes, too many of the same folk going to the same clubs, dressed the same way, using the same lines on the same women, getting the same phone numbers, going home and calling the same phone numbers, and getting the same invitations, and getting the same sex, and catching the same diseases. Dare to be different. Too many of the same folk doing the same thing. Too many of the same folk conversating and they talking, they nervous. You know where they been. Then went to the same corner to see the same dope man, to get the same crack cocaine, to get the same mixed cocaine in the. Dare to be different. These three boys say, I ain't gonna do what everybody else is doing. These boys had already had made up in their mind they weren't gonna be like everybody else. They dared to be different, but they also dared to be decisive. You got to decide whose side you want to be on. Don't let